The White River Bluff Loop is located about 9 miles north of Mountainview, Arkansas, right off Highway 5. So, Syllamo Trail holds kind of a special place in our hearts since this was the first trail we rode together as newlyweds
right down through here
on a cold January day back in 2005.
Someone's been up here riding fairly recently. Oh, this is some technical rocky stuff right through there.
So the White River Bluff Loop is approximately about 4 to 4.5 miles long. It is rated as a difficult intermediate, and it's in a what they call lollipop format or shape or configuration, and that is you ride out on the stick, do the loop around the lollipop, and you come back to the stick that takes you back to the parking lot. Now this section right here is where the actual lollipop begins. You can go right or you can go left. My suggestion is to ride this thing in a counterclockwise direction. So here you would actually hang a right. But in this video, we chose to go straight. As you get closer to the bluffs, you're going to find a lot of chunk in the trail. And I mean a lot. It gets to be old school, technical single track. So if you're into that stuff, this is a nice loop to go try. But riding all that chunk, you get rewarded with some really awesome views. The Syllamo Trail used to be rated as an I.M.B.A Epic ride. I'm not sure if it still is or not, because Syllamo has gone through some changes over the years, and a lot of them weren't good. I know some sections of the Syllamo trail system had fallen into disrepair. They had done some logging out there that kind of destroyed a lot of it, and other problems happened to it. I do know that they've tried bringing it back, and they've done a really good job on the White River Bluff Loop. Really hate seeing these older trails kind of falling into disrepair. These were the trails, you know, that before the big jump and flow trails come along, these were the trails that kept mountain biking going in the state of Arkansas. if you do it in the direction we're going now, counter or clockwise, you will come to some pretty big climbs. They're not super long, but they're kind of steep in places. Whereas if you do this counterclockwise, you get to come down these. I remember we used to race on the Syllamo Trail Network. It was called Syllamo's Revenge. Very long bike race, but it was always a blast to do. Most of the technical stuff is around the bluffs, but there are spots along the trail that aren't around the bluffs that can kind of get technical and chunky.
Not the way I planned it, but it worked. Woo! All right. Trail is this way. I don't know, is that the trail?
If you want to see the old video I did back in 2005, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, but just be warned that this was before GoPros were out. This was back when you had to wear a bullet cam on your helmet and a camcorder on your back.
I guess it wouldn't matter if you went down the road or down the trail. It just brings you to the same place. It really wasn't that bad.
So if you like good old technical single track, this little loop might be something you might want to try. Well, that ought to do it, guys. Hope you have a wonderful week. And as always, thanks for watching.